Well, hello my beautiful Librans, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is a little bonus reading all about you. I'm going to connect to your overarching energy and then I'm going to get a few more cards to check in with the details of what you're going through or perhaps what is coming towards you. So let us start. Also, before I even start, in the water they're showing me an image of an incredible eye. Just this one eye, it's just staring at me and it's so beautiful, it's so magnetic. There's something about this eye, I just want to get lost in this eye. But at the same time, there's a sadness there, okay? It's like I can see it tearing up. I almost like see that it's like an ocean falling from the eye is what I'm seeing. Now, that's a very striking image. So next to it, they're showing me also now a heart is coming forward. So it can mean that something has really hurt your heart recently. Or you've heard some news that has been very upsetting. It can also mean that you feel there's something missing in your life and that you're not feeling completely fulfilled at this moment. And whilst you're just getting on with life, it may be showing in your eyes in some way. You may have felt that you've lost that spark, or you may have someone told you that perhaps you've got beautiful eyes, but there's a lament or a sadness there. I mean, Librans, you tend to be very sensitive, very creative, and a lot of artists and musicians and actors tend to be Librans because they're able to access those emotions. And, you know, you can channel them into creativity. But some of you may have felt a bit stifled recently, or you feel something is missing, something that you've been yearning for with your heart. It's been missing. And I feel that, look, they were showing me an image of a heart in the water, like a literal heart. And there in your first card is a heart. Okay, so I'm really picking up on that sense of, you know, I mean, this figure looks really bound in the situation, but I feel like there's part of you that feels like, is this it? There's an energy of you wanting to return to the good old days or revitalize your spirits for life, find that lust for life again. And I feel some of you have been contemplating new ways to do that. They're actually showing me the number 111 in the water as well. Okay, now 111 tends to be, I mean, you see me shuffling these cards, right? You see me shuffling these cards. This is what they were showing me in the water. I mean, it wasn't exactly like this, but there's an eye that is incredible. It's beautiful. There's a lament there. Well, it's like a waterfall coming here, and you can see the heart. So I'm channeling the energy. I'm not just reading the cards. I'm doing both. And I'm picking up this energy, as I said, that it feels like something's missing. Okay, and I just feel like, I mean, even the first card is called the life breath. So I feel like you're trying to breathe new life into circumstances, into situations. And they're showing me a 111 in the water. This is going to show up for you quite heavily over the next coming weeks and even months. And it indicates, don't be afraid to try new things, new experiences, new paths, new people. Because I feel like you are revitalizing your spirits for life. I definitely see this lust for life coming back on in. Okay? And I mean, your final card there is pressure. So I feel like it's a build-up of pressure, actually finding a healthy channel to let your emotions out. But also, I feel like you're funneling into either creativity or exercise or something that's really good for you, okay? Now, your first card is breath. So I feel really important to remember, breathe, whatever is meant for you will never pass you by, okay? If some of you are feeling a lot of pressure about life and about your circumstances, and you feel like you should be in a certain place right now, you're actually in the exact place you're meant to be. If you feel things are a little bit stagnant right now, embrace the pause, because it gives you an opportunity for really to think over your circumstances, to really strategize, to really check in with who you are, what you want, where you are right now, and what steps you need to take for, you know, the next part of your journey. This is a card of allowing you to be in the flow, okay? This card is like, sometimes when we're in a very high pressurized environment, and let's face it, life has got really loud. We have a lot of information bombarding us. We have lots of news, negative energy coming towards us. We have responsibilities. We've got tasks. We've got bills to pay. If you've got children, you've got children to, you know, guide and nourish. There's a lot going on in life, okay? Sometimes we need to take a pause and breathe and be mindful that our personal, personal health is important, and mindfulness is important. So I really feel this card is about, finding the exhale and the inhale in life that puts you in the flow a little bit more, okay? Finding that time and space to slow down and really connect to your heart as well. Now, this is your protagonist energy. So I really feel there's something here where you want to breathe life into something or a part of your life, or even a part of yourself that you feel you've disconnected from. So you're rediscovering yourself. I really feel like you're connecting to your heart and what it yearns for, because you do feel, looking at the energy here, I feel there's something that perhaps you feel is missing from life in general. And I feel you're trying to reignite your passion, your lust for life. And for some of you, I mean, it can mean that you're literally focusing on your health, your heart health, and you're trying to create a really healthy diet for yourself, exercise, and you feel you want to get back to best. For some of you, I'm really connecting to love. Some of you may feel there's a yearning there. Either you're looking for love and you haven't found it yet. I feel like you're transforming your life, and the changes that you're making in your life, you will connect to the love that you truly deserve and desire. But on a personal level, I feel it's about areas of pressure in your life where you feel like you're bracing yourself for the worst, but actually you're going to be receiving the best. I know we've all collectively gone through a major pandemic, and I know we've kind of moved on from some of that energy, but I feel it has collectively given humanity trauma, where it feels like you're living on the edge of your nerves sometimes, wondering what's next. And I get this sense here that you are in fight or flight mode, and some of you may have, and I picked up this energy in the Sagittarius reading, and in the, I think it was even the Taurus reading, I'm not sure, I'll have to check, but I get this sense of the quick fix. Okay, so some of you may have found yourself like trauma eating, or, reaching for comfort and stagnancy and something to hold on to, which is really wonderful to build a life of stability. But you may have felt that in doing so, things have become a little bit dull, boring, and repetitive. And I feel that you're yearning for something. Some of you, I get the sense of having a lot of creativity. You're very talented, you're very gifted, but you may have had a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, and you haven't had time to connect to something where you can create or be inspired. And I feel like you're trying to really find your way in life to connect to the things that your heart yearns for, things that perhaps you haven't been able to connect to for some time. Even if it's like you've been promising yourself to read that book that keeps calling to you from the bookshelf, and you're like, I'll do that this evening when I get home from work. Or if you don't work, you're like, I will connect to that when, I've put the children to bed. Whatever it is, I get a sense that you still haven't been able to do it. And I feel over the coming months, you're actually going to connect to those things that you really love doing. And I get a sense here of you breathing like passion back into life. I feel like there's this connection to the divine. And I also get a sense here of you wondering where home is, like home is where the heart is kind of energy. And I feel like you're trying to transform your life in some way. And I feel that some of you want to be really clear on what your next step is before you revamp or recharge your life in some way. And I feel it's that in-between space where you feel like you're a little bit in limbo. You know that changes are afoot. You know that you're about to embrace a new way of living or a new way of doing things. And you're not procrastinating. I get a sense that you're just in that breath in between where it's like, and then you take that leap of faith. Okay, so I feel like it's a very romantic way of looking at it, to be in that breath, in that space in between where you're about to launch something new or change your life in some way, or, you know, revitalize or regenerate your life in a different way. I get a sense it's like that pause before you leap, okay? And I get a sense of you connecting to your heart and, you know, running with whatever it is your heart desires. Some of you have been seeking direction. And number 27, when you reduce it, 2 plus 7 is 9. So that's very much hermit energy. So some of you may have felt a little bit like, you know, going inwards. You've been very insular recently, and you've been doing a lot of soul searching. I really get a sense of you just looking at your life and the things and people you've connected to and where you felt really bound. And I feel like you're releasing that. I feel like you are almost like becoming. You're releasing anything that's been holding you back. You're going to say the things you always wanted to say. And even though you may have been someone who really like honestly says what you mean, I feel there's something here recently, maybe even in the last couple of years, where you felt like you couldn't truly express yourself or you couldn't say your piece. And I get a sense of you breaking free from any restrictions and just going for it, just being who you always have been, okay? With the soul there, this is the very prominent image they were showing me right at the beginning in the water. This is your soul's passion. This is that spark, and you may have felt it's been missing, okay? And I feel recently you've been taking a bit of a pause to go inwards and consider your motivations carefully. And I feel like we all have more than one purpose in life. It's really important to connect to your passions, but I feel there's something here where you've perhaps in the last couple of years felt like you were coasting. You're looking at what's really important to you, what's really not important to you, and you're really trying to find your way in a brand new world, because you may feel that things around you have changed, and you're like, well, although you haven't particularly changed, I feel it is shaping a brand new you and a brand new way of living. So whether you have left jobs or gone in different directions, or you're changing direction, or you're thinking about where you belong in the world, or relocating, I feel transformation is occurring, and you know that there are changes coming. I mean, collectively, we all know there are changes coming in the world, perhaps changes that you do not necessarily agree with. However, there is an energy here of you trying to make sure you're in a very secure position to weather any changes. And I feel like you're doing that. I feel like you are like in a transition period that will lead you to be in a very grounded position of security. Okay. Now, of course, number 14 is the Temperance card energy. So I feel there is something that perhaps you've been waiting for quite some time, or you've been really patient with. And it's almost like I get a sense that it's not that you're losing your patience, but I get a sense of frustration here. There's a longing, a lament, and I feel like you're reconnecting to your soul's passion, because this is the resistance position. So it indicates you got this card in the reverse. And I feel some of you may have felt very disconnected from yourself, or disconnected from that purpose, that sense of purpose, or you're trying to rediscover yourself in some way, or rediscover your pleasure, your passion for life, your joie de vivre, your lust for life. And I feel over the next 3 months, there is a major radical change going on for you on a personal level that sparks everything back to life. Okay, it's almost like I get a sense of like what do you know those defibrillator, and it's like the heart being recharged back to life. And I get a sense that you are back to life, back to living, back to enjoying all the things that you long to enjoy. Or, you know, I feel like there's a return to the good old days, but in a different way, where you are recharged, you're magnetized, and there's a lot of good things heading in your direction. But I feel some of you, and this little part here is not going to connect to everybody, but I really get a sense here that there has been a sadness that has gone on here. Now, this could be a personal sadness, could be a bereavement. If you've lost someone recently, because they're actually giving me the word loss in the water, okay? Whether it's a bereavement of a person, okay? I know there's lots of butterflies in this card, but they're giving me two images here, which they're showing me a treasure chest and a key. Okay, so I feel this is a sign from, if you've lost someone and they're in spirit, a message from them. Every time you see a treasure chest and a key, I mean, this could be an image you'll see on a billboard, or you may go into a mall and you'll see like a little like trunk that looks like a treasure chest, old-fashioned treasure chest. It has a key and a lock on it. Look out for images like that, because this person, they're trying to tell you that you are a treasure. You literally are a treasure, and that they value you. And they're giving me an energy of, you will find each other again, but only when the moment is right. Okay, so I'm sending you a huge hug out there. If you've lost someone, they're giving me that as an image. Now, that may be something that means something to you. It may not be, but if you start to see those images over the coming months, that's an image that lets you know that they're around you. Okay, I don't often get messages like that, but that's coming through, so I have to give it to you. For those of you who have not lost a person, I just want to, everybody who's lost a person, I want to give you so much love, because they're again showing me the heart space. They want so much love, so much devotion, and that they're walking by you and helping you on your path to new opportunities. Okay, they're giving me this energy of enjoy time. You know, enjoy your time. That's what they're giving me. So I'm just going to move on from that energy with love and sending you so much hugs out there. For those of you who have experienced a different type of loss, whether it is a separation from a relationship, or a loss of money, or a loss of a job, or even loss of health, what they're giving me here is that these things will be returned. Okay, these things will be returned, but in different forms. So you'll be recharging your batteries. You'll feel back to best. I feel like you will have optimum energy, and you'll go from strength to strength. For those of you who perhaps have lost finances or lost a position, I feel that there is one that will transform your life very shortly coming in the next month and a half. I definitely see that there is more coming in towards you than ever before, okay? And you are going to find a creative solution to a problem, and you're going to adapt to the new. There can be an energy of adapting to the new. They're also giving me, and this is for the general collective, tears of sadness will turn to tears of joy. Okay, tears of sadness turn to tears of joy. So I definitely see that any stuck situation that you've been struggling with, I feel that situations will almost right themselves, and I feel you'll be back in harmony. Now, your outcome energy, it's really interesting. You got 26 and 27 here. Okay, here's 26, 27, and we've got transformation, pressure. So you're the sort of person who breathe under pressure, very important. I feel actually you thrive under pressure. You don't like it, but I feel that you come to the fore whenever there is pressure here. With this card, I feel like you are reframing life, and I feel you can view pressure as being negative, or you can see it as being a shaper of things, being, a director, to be in control of things, or a positive influence. And I really get this sense of reframing things. I feel you're finding that happy medium, that balance. But again, if you even look at this card, I was trying to pick up the energy that they were trying to give me right at the beginning of the reading with those images, the heart and the eye. And it's like that space in between. And if you see this figure, there's the face, but it's like this like space in between. I keep getting that energy. So some of you may be in a transition period where you're thinking about relocating, or you're changing your life in some way, or you're being more mindful about your decisions. And I really get a sense here that you're embarking on a brand new world in some way, and a brand new personal journey is also what I'm being given here. I feel like you're transforming your life for the positive. And that number 111 has come up again. So again, it's like embrace new things, explore new places, faces. I get a sense that, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I was wondering why the treasure chest, but my guys just gave me that diamonds are formed under pressure. okay? And that you are a gem is what they're giving me here. And I feel it's taking you a long time to recognize it, that you are lovable, you are awesome, you're talented, you're really gifted, you offer a lot to the world and to the people around you, and that you are valued and treasured. But sometimes you don't see that, okay? And maybe sometimes also people don't show that, but I feel deep down they do recognize that you are an integral person in their world, and that they would be lost without you, okay? And I feel like you really need to know that you're doing a really good job, whether you are battling away to try and change your life in some way, whether it's food related, substance related, or whether you are, trying to nurture and guide children because you're a parent or guardian, or whether it is that you're just trying to make your way towards success. I feel like you're doing a really good job, and people don't tell you that, but you need to know that, and that your guides are really proud of you, but also people who walk in spirit, they walk by your side, and there's solidarity there. It's not just you walking towards your goals and dreams, it's a whole line of your ancestors walking behind you, walking tall with you, and guiding you towards, prosperity, guiding you towards your goal. And there's a lot of support with you. So they want you to feel like that powerhouse that you are, that you can overcome anything that you've been going through, and they walk with you, especially during times of hardship. They want you to know that, okay? So I'm just going to get a little bit more details. I mean, that part, that gave me true chills there, because I could feel the strength of people walking with you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. I also feel that for the majority of you, you will see a treasure chest with a key, okay? That is a reminder of how precious you are, and that I see that you're not an open book, okay? You're very sensitive, and I see that you're not an open book. It takes a while for people to get to know you because you're very discerning about the company that you keep. And yeah, you do not wear your heart on your sleeve. You're someone who is very loving, and I feel that you have been hurt in the past in some way, or you've learned not to trust people. You tend to see people deeper than other people see other people. So I feel like you go below the surface, and I feel it's given you a certain jadedness about the world, but at the same time you're a Libran, so that means you want to see the beauty in the world. And I feel sometimes you swing between the two, where one moment the world is an incredible place full of beauty, and you're marveling at the trees and the birds and animals and our connection to them, and then the next moment you're like really feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, where you can feel the sadness, the lament. And I feel like you pick up that energy, and it's really important to guard your energy and make sure you keep it in balance. That's why you are the Libran, because the scales represent that balance, because you can tip at any moment. So you need to be very careful with your energy and the people that you surround yourself with, and also the things that you watch. You're absorbing energy. Every human, we're all energy. Even if you shout at another person, that is energy shouting out of you into another person, and they're absorbing it. Even when you walk down the street and, there's a lot of people with a lot of things going on, that's a lot of energy. So you may find that you are an empath. And when you are in crowded places where there's a lot of noise or a lot of energy, you may feel exhausted quicker than other people. So it's really important to protect your energy, or have like a salt bath or some sort of mineral bath with an organic substance, just to clear your energy when you come home of an evening. And be mindful as well what you watch just before bedtime is what they're giving me, because anything that you're watching that perhaps could be a little bit negative, you absorb that energy, and it may, you could have like a full 7-8 hours sleep, but it may not be a restful sleep, because your mind is trying to wrestle with the negative things that are in the world that you've perhaps watched before bedtime. So just watch out for that, okay? Because you have such a beautiful, pure heart, and it's not that you can't understand why there are such difficulties in the world, but I feel that this heaviness like really descends on you a lot more than other people. So just watch out for that, okay? Now, looking at your reading, I definitely see like some major events happening for you over the next 3 months. You've got lots of major arcana cards here. You've got the World card, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the Tower, and you've got the Magician. Now, if you know my readings, the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune, they show up together because, you know, a tower doesn't always mean a negative surprise or a shock. It can represent you coming out of a comfort zone, liberating yourself from a very stuck situation. Now, your first card here is the World. So I feel some of you are really, you know, being impacted by the world and the events at large. Whether it's like something on a, you know, more mundane scale, like inflation or taxes or you know, the way that the world is being run, or you know, the more intense things that occur in the world that perhaps are hidden, shall we say. I feel a lot of you pick up on that energy, so just be a little bit mindful. It's no accident that the World card has shown up here for you, because I do feel there is this lament or this heaviness that perhaps you've been picking up from like world events or watching things or absorbing people around you. But the World card also indicates that you are whole all by yourself, and there's a big old world out there to explore. And some of you may have been feeling this longing, something that's missing. And whilst you're coming into balance and you're really focusing on your goals and your aspirations, you may feel that perhaps, you know, you are missing something, and it may be something spiritual, maybe your soul tribe, it may be a spiritual practice, because I really get a sense here with the World card and the Ten of Pentacles, you recognize that, you know, the world, it's not all about money, but I feel that's been your focus for a while because the world has been turned upside down and it's almost like been a bit of a circus. So I feel you're in protector mode, this fight or flight mode, where you're really trying to make sure you have a solid foundation, you're focusing on your family, you're focusing on you know, your place in the world with your family, and also focusing on finances just to make sure that you are stable in a situation. A lot of you are thinking about the home space, especially since you have the Ten of Pentacles there. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, if you have been through a bereavement, some of you may have had to have the very difficult experience of focusing or trying to sort out, you know, inheritance. And I feel that you're just trying to really get busy doing life and focusing on the practicals, and it's really weighed heavy on your heart, okay? Those things will come to a conclusion where, you know, I feel like if you've been left something in a will, that you will have it, of course, but I really get a sense that you yearn for the person rather than the money. But, you know, I feel there's like this, it's like you're having to adult in a very mature way, and I feel like you're trying to put your emotions to one side to really be clear on what's next. And I feel you will get through it, but allow yourself time to heal and to grieve, okay? It's very important. Moving on from the energy, I feel a lot of you are really goal-oriented, and you will be successful. You will reach your goal. And if your goal is financial, I definitely see that you are attracting a lot of wealth at this time. And I feel that a lot of you are thinking about the long term. You're focusing on your pensions, your savings, your payment plans, acquisitions, and I feel like you're being really savvy about your finances. Some of you, if finances have not been going very well for you recently, I feel like you're getting a little bit more organized or structured on focusing financially in order to safeguard, protect anything that you've worked for so far, because you may be feeling that the world is shifting. I know that we are seeing lots of like ideas, digital ideas for currencies and things like that being put on the table in different countries all around the world, and you know that those changes are coming. So I feel that you are keeping an eye on things, as it were, in order to safeguard your situation and make sure that you're not putting your money in institutions that are connected by license, because you would not be covered financially in terms of insurance should there ever be an economic fluctuation and one of those institutions fell. You wouldn't be covered for both. So I feel like you're being really savvy about your finances, and that's only because you've got the Ten of Pentacles and the World card there. That's why I'm picking up on that energy. So I feel to some degree, some of you, whilst you're dealing with very personal matters on a localized scale, I feel like you're keeping a big old eye on the world and really connecting to your intuition about the changes that are occurring around you for the long term. Also, with the Ten of Pentacles, some of you are trying to buy property or going to real estate, and I feel you may be even looking abroad to, see what potential lies there for you. You may be feeling drawn to a particular part of the world, even if it's not for now. You may be saving for the future to retire in a country that perhaps you yearn to be in, or this plan that you've got, because I feel like you're focusing on your plan and you're giving it 100%, and you're going to accomplish, you're going to attract and manifest what you desire. It's going to come to life. They're also giving me, for some of you, you may have been, and they're just showing me right now, an intention board. I call it an intention board. You may call it a vision board, because what you see in your mind, you can have in your hand. I call it an intention board because it means I intend to create that in my world, and I make steps and strides to do that physically, as well as the universe shows up and aids you behind the scenes to get to where you want to go. And I see some of you putting pictures up of things that you desire. In about 5 years' time, you're going to look back on that board and you're going to see an image that you've put on that board that you have nearly like the exact image of. So whether it's like a property that you intend to purchase, you're going to look back in 5 years' time when you've purchased a property and be like, hey, it's the same floor that is in the picture that I had on my vision board. Hey, it's like the same structure windows. Hey, my gosh, it's the same area that I imagined I would be living in. Whatever you've got on that vision board, there's something on that vision board or that intention board that will be the same of what you create in the future, okay? So I feel like you're really on track to achieving a goal, but you're going to marvel at the magic of what you manifested in 5 years' time. And I know you're going to have to check in with this reading in 5 years' time, or you'll just remember this reading in 5 years' time. But there's something with constancy, with effort, there's something that's on that vision board that you're going to go, wow, I got what I wanted. So like, for example, if you wanted to buy an island, right? And you looked online and you're like, I would love to buy that island. And it's called, let's call it the Miracle Island, right? Say it's the Miracle Island and it's in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if there is one there, but call that, probably not. But, and you put it on your vision board and it's currently owned by somebody. You may work towards whatever it is you work at and generate enough money that in the future you're like, oh my gosh, that island just became available. It's affordable and I'm going to purchase that. And you're going to find that you're going to get, if not exact, but close to what you want, exactly the way you want it. Okay, so just be a little bit mindful of that. Also, Ten of Pentacles, you're the sort of person, home is where the heart is. And I really get a sense that you've been focused a lot on your responsibilities. You've been really busy, not just making finances or, focusing on your finances, but on your family, your friends, your nearest and dearest. And I feel that you have been going through a bit of a rite of passage recently. So if you're a parent, for example, children may be leaving home, going to university, college, or moving. Some of them may even decide to go traveling for a long period of time, and you may be a little bit worried about them, and it's really weighing on your heart. I see that, they're going to have a wonderful time, and I feel that actually they're going to enjoy themselves, and they're actually going to learn that they yearn for home, but they need to go out there and explore. So I'm picking up on that as well there, okay? It may feel like a shock when they leave because it just feels like things are changing and you're entering into a new cycle, but I actually see that it gives you a new lease of life where you find a little bit more independence to do what you want to do for you, okay? Also, some of you may be saving for a large purchase, and I feel that you get a really good discount on it. I know that's such a small thing, but in current world circumstances, it's a really great thing because whatever it is, I feel like you find it somewhere else for less money, and it's just as good, okay? Also, I'm picking up on energy of you attracting more prosperity, a lot more success, and, focusing on your goals and your responsibilities and getting lots of tasks done and just feeling like you're in the flow, okay? I get a sense also of some chapter ending in your life, and whilst it may be difficult, Like, for example, some of you may be like, okay, I'm deciding to retire right now. So you're entering a different pace of life. And at first, it may feel like you need to make some adjustments, and it may feel like you're lamenting a part of your life, but actually you're going to embrace it and enjoy it a lot more. So I just get a sense of something ending for you. It could be a job ending, it could be a relationship, if you've gone through a divorce or a separation, okay, or you're walking away from something that hasn't been working for you, or you've got a lack of confidence in a relationship and it's caused you a lot of trouble. I get a sense of you stepping back in order to really reconnect to your heart and ask yourself, what are you getting out of this situation? And if your heart is not fulfilled, if it's not overflowing with love and feeling satisfied, then I feel it's important for you to make some adjustments in order to connect to things and people that make you feel great. You can either work really hard to either go to couples therapy, for example, and try to find your way back to each other, or you get a choice to move forward. And I really get a sense here that if you are with somebody in a high level commitment, and recently there's been a bit of strain or pressure on the relationship, I feel you desire to be seen by this person, and this person will see you. I feel like it's almost like allow them the breath, the space to miss you. Take a step back, focus on your heart, focus on connecting to the things that you love doing. This person will miss you from their life, okay? And I feel by taking that step back, you're not actually playing any games, or you're not trying to push their buttons or anything. I feel it's important for you to have that independent energy and connect to who you are, and rediscovering yourself actually draws this person right back again. So if you do want that person to come back, because some of you are going to say, no, don't want to see that person ever again. If that's you and you don't ever want to see that person again, I feel like you'll move forward, and I feel like you're just going to enjoy life and have a great time and perhaps connect to someone else in the future. But I feel right now you're going through a major transition period where you're rediscovering parts of yourself, and you're looking at life from a viewpoint of, if it doesn't make me happy, if it makes me feel low energy, low vibe, right down to food. You know, I feel like you're even looking at your diet thinking, if it makes me feel bloated or just makes me feel off, I feel like you're cutting those things out or distancing yourself from those things in order to bring a little bit more fun into your life, and that lust for life returns. Okay, now it's no accident you got the King of Cups, which is all about the heart space. It's in the resistance position. So I feel some of you have been feeling low energy, or you've been feeling that you haven't been connecting to your heart, or you haven't been fully truthful to your heart, wanting to do something. So if, for example, you know, life is really busy, we gotta work, we gotta look after children, we gotta, you know, pay bills, we got to do all those things. But if there's something that you yearn to do with your heart, it's important to make space to do that thing. Otherwise, you'll feel resentful and stagnant in your life. You'll just feel like there's no outlet for your expression. And I feel it's really important to connect to that, okay? You're someone who is a very supportive, loving friend. You're very intuitive, and you know when a person is hurting, and you're always there for them, okay? They keep giving me how much of a treasure you are, and that you need to see this within yourself, because sometimes you don't. Also, in the past, if you're looking for love, for example, and you're single right now, in the past, you may have connected to people who were emotionally manipulative, or they saw what you had to offer in love and they couldn't match it. They were not emotionally available to give you the love that you truly deserve and desire. You're someone who is an empath, and you may have attracted people who were very controlling in the past, but I see new love entering your life, and that is not going to be the way in the future. You're about to meet someone who is going to offer a secure relationship, someone who allows you the space to be yourself, and, you know, to offer, this person offers so much support and love. Okay, I definitely see you attracting someone like that. But the King of Cups in this position is really about, you know, almost like assessing your emotions. Because the King of Cups in this position, this is a resistance position, so it's like you got it in the reverse. Okay, the first position is your protagonist energy. You're coming into balance. You're focusing on your place in the world. You're focusing on finances. You've been really busy. But in the resistance position, everything's in the reverse. So I feel like you're really looking at your emotions, taking stock of how you feel about situations and honoring situations and honoring your emotions. And you're not allowing yourself to just push it all down and forget about it and put it into a little box. I feel this is perhaps something you used to do, but now you're like, no, I'm being my wonderful, authentic self, and I'm just going to let my emotions flow, because you recognize that things that are pushed down and put into little boxes, they start to expand, elevate, and then they start to, become very volatile, shall we say. So I feel that you are trying to really work through some very difficult emotions, and I feel there's something here that perhaps you've been doing for a while that you love doing, but it may not have been working out for you. There may have been you may have thought about walking away from this with that Six of Wands, or you may feel that you have been working really hard in a situation and you're not valued or appreciated for your talents and skills. But I definitely see something to be celebrated in the coming 3 months. And I feel you're going to elevate to a position where people, they acknowledge how talented you are. And I see that you may have felt there's no good news, or there hasn't been good news for a while, but I get a sense that there is something good coming towards you that is going to give you a spring in your step. There's something, they're showing me an image of an eagle right now as well. So it's like something perhaps that you've had your eye on for some time, or you've been trying to focus on as a goal. You may have felt it's been delayed, or there's been lots of obstacles in your path, and it's been knocking your confidence. I feel like you don't really want to give up, and you won't, because I feel like it's not a failure, it's a learning curve. And I feel like you're about to have a breakthrough in it, okay? And I feel also there's a personal energy coming through. Some of you may have been dealing with someone who's very selfish in their energy. It's all been about them recently. This person is hurting. Okay, and I'm picking up an energy. I mean, I'm not here to give anyone an excuse or a way out of a situation, but I feel there's someone in your world that you may have been trying to connect to or reach out to, and they've either been keeping at arm's length or distance because they're hurting. There's something going on in their world. I mean, it could be a friend that you haven't heard from in a while, and you've been reaching out to that person and they've not been exchanging any messages with you. I feel this person's going through something, a very deep depression, and I feel this person has become very solitary. You're a really good person. You're very, you have a lot of empathy. You're a really good friend, and I feel that this person will come to you when they already. Okay, I actually see that you're going to hear from this person in the next 3 months, and you may have been reaching out to them for like a year or more, and I feel this person is going to reach out, and they're going to tell you that things have not been great, but things are getting better, and they're starting to almost resurface. And some of you may have been feeling like that yourself. There may have been someone who keeps trying to reach out to you, but you've not been feeling it. I feel you will reconnect with that person when the time is right, okay? Now, your outcome energy, this is how things are going to go. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. So things are getting better for you. There's a lot more luck available to you in the next couple of months before Jupiter goes retrograde. So it's really important to capitalize on that level of good luck. I really feel it's important to recognize that things are going to be in synchronicity. So remember, 111 there that came through. I definitely see that numerical synchronicity will indicate that there is positive change occurring in your life. And the Wheel of Fortune, I feel something that is meant to be, something that is fated to be, is coming towards you, something that you've been wishing for, because I feel a wish is delivered here for you. I feel fate intervenes and brings you a major breakthrough in your life. Also, when you get the Wheel of Fortune with the Tower, I feel like there's a happy surprise here that actually breaks you out of a very stuck situation. The Tower can represent, being in a prison type energy where you're locked in this cycle of repeat. So if you've been only focusing on your finances or your work because things have been busy, it's important to find balance in your life and have fun as well as, working, having that strategy. It's important to be a little bit more spontaneous in your world. And I feel it's really important to recognize that sometimes the universe gives us a sign and says it's time to change direction, or it's time to approach in a different way. And if we don't listen, the universe comes along to nudge us off the fence. So if there's something that you're trying to make a decision about, or something that you feel a little bit stagnant about in your life, I get a sense that the universe is intervening in order to break down the walls and liberate you. There's going to be some sudden changes in your life. Some of these changes may surprise you, but I get a sense that you're in control of that, because the Magician card tells me that this is something you've been manifesting for a while. You're turning your visions into reality, and you're going to literally be shaken that those things have shown up for you. Okay, I really get a sense that whatever you utter right now, words or spellings, you're casting them out into the universe. So if you're being really negative, like, you know what, it's not going to happen for me, then you're actually attracting that energy into your life. So just be a little bit mindful in the way that you talk, okay? Because those words mean things. I mean, I probably shouldn't even use the word mean, because mean has two different energies to it. You can mean something as in you intend something, but also a person can be mean. So it's a two-way street. So I feel it's really important to choose words wisely, like I intend to do this, rather than I mean to do this. So I feel it's really important, because you're just giving a lot of energy out into the universe. Now, you're someone who's very talented, you're very gifted, and anything you turn your hand to, you naturally are good at it. You just have a natural capability. Own it. Allow yourself to take credit for all that you've achieved so far. And I feel even with little resources in your life, you're the sort of person who makes things work. You are a warrior in your life. And I feel that your heart is connecting to something that perhaps hasn't shown up for a while, or you feel is missing in your life, but it's going to show up for you. I get a sense here that you are a very powerful manifester, and in the next 3 months you're taking the initiative to get something done with precision. There's going to be focus here, and whatever it is you're focused on, you have infinite possibilities to make it happen, and the universe is giving you all the resources you need, whether it's people, whether it's situations, whether it's places. I feel all these things are going to start to show up for you to help you on your journey. Okay, stay grounded in your energy is what they're giving me, because every plan needs to be grounded, or every action needs to be grounded and rooted in a plan, but your dedication will pay off. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get some final cards for you. Because there's such major arcanas in your reading, I feel the next 3 months is a big deal for you, and I feel you will be shaken, that things are being removed to get you out of your comfort zone. And I feel it's important to recognize that you will be victorious, you will be successful, whatever it is you're visualizing at this time. They want me to go one more, so I will. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see? Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. What are they meant to see? We've got 12, 12, 18, 17, and number 20. Okay. Now, number 18, it says, I am kind-hearted. Okay. And it's interesting that even the first card in this deck mentions the heart. So it says here, you are both open-minded and open-hearted, and your ambition is to leave this world better than you found it. That so picks up on the energy right at the beginning of this reading about the world and the energy and all the things that are going on in the world. It says, ensure that your goals are aligned with the collective need and with the highest good of all. Okay, so I feel like you're leaving your patch of the world better than when you found it. And that's because of your beautiful heart, your friendships, your connections, your inspirational energy. It says here, I am independent. So some of you may be trying to set up your own entrepreneurship, especially since you've got the King of Cups there and the Six of Wands. You may have been trying to get something off the ground where you are in control of it. And you may have found it really difficult because it's something that you love. And when we do something that we love, sometimes it's really hard to get it started because it seems like the world is against us. But you're going to overcome any of those challenges. You're going to be very successful. And your energy is going to be far-reaching. So if you desire to be seen for your talents, or you even want fame, for example, because you're very creative, I feel like you will reach that level. It will be difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. But I definitely see you having a breakthrough. You're in the in-between phase. phase where you're just making some adjustments, and then you're going to power through and get what you truly deserve and desire. Even if you don't want fame, I feel there's some elevation in your life where you're going to produce something that you're going to be really proud of. It says here, the quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious. You're capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. Also, I'm picking up on energy of, if you've been feeling very scattered recently, I feel like you are going to be a little bit more focused than usual. And I feel like you are forging ahead and getting all your projects and all your tasks done in double time. We've got number 20. And it says, I am harmonious. You relate to others on an almost cosmic level. You are dedicated to building harmonious relationships of all kinds. You have the ability to persuade others to your point of view by using gentle means. So I feel like you are going to eventually get your own way, but you're not like being manipulative in order to get there. I feel like there's an energy here of the universe changing circumstances to help you to get to where you want to go or what you need. And I feel some of you may be even thinking about going into careers where you really look at the human heart, or you look at how people tick, on a psychological level, but also on a heart level. And I really get a sense here of you being a naturally healing person, whether you want to go into counseling or psychotherapy or into a practice where you help people with art therapy or something. I really get a sense that you have a gift to help other people. And even if it's through your creative leanings, whether it's art, music, performance, I feel like you reach people on another level that other people just don't do. And I feel, if you're setting up any creative endeavors, I feel they'll be very, very successful at this time. We've also got 1212. And it says, I am focused. Stay focused on your best possible future and remain optimistic throughout the entire journey. Your angels are right behind you as you turn your dreams into reality. So I already picked up on that energy of people being behind you, not just your guides, but also your family lineage, your ancestry, walking right behind you, being this powerful force as you walk forward towards something, because you have a mission. You feel called to do something in life. And whatever that calling is, I feel you will be gravitating towards it, and you will be very successful, and more importantly, you will have a heart that is fulfilled. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a rune before we close. Okay, isn't that interesting? We have a key. Okay, they did show me the treasure chest. There's a key. So I feel like you're going to be, it's not just about unlocking your destiny. I feel like you're a very private person, but something that perhaps maybe you have a secret wish or something you desire to do. I feel like you will unlock that box, and you're actually going to really look at it, observe it, and strategize to make it happen. I also get a sense here of all the doors or portals that you felt were closed to you. They're starting to open for you now. We also have the peace sign. That's really interesting because the peace sign is shown up for Sagittarius and Taurus. So I was picking up some energy from their reading in yours. So perhaps you have placements in those areas. But this is going to be a time of peace. I feel like you are also a peacekeeper. So I feel like you soothe people. We do have the crown. Oh, it's interesting. We've got two keys here. And this key has got a heart on it. So I feel, following your heart is the key to your success. But also I get a sense that that treasure chest with a key, it's a message of love from the other side. So I want you to be aware of that, okay? You may also see lots of keys with hearts in them. We also have the crown. So I really feel... Is there a quote that's like, adjust your crown, stand tall, and walk proud? I really get a sense here of you owning your energy, recognizing that you deserve the best. But the crown, it really connects to the crown chakra, which is to know that you will be successful, know that you will accomplish what you desire, and it shall be so. And for some of you, I feel it's about reaching a higher level of consciousness. So you are entering into developing your spiritual gifts, your spiritual practices, and you're elevating in frequency. So you're going to get a little bit further. So if you've struggled with meditation, for example, I feel like it becomes a little bit easier for you. If you are really good at meditation, I feel like you enter a frequency where you start to receive messages and there's a transition. I keep getting this energy that you're in that space in between. And when we're in that space in between, it means anything's possible. And I feel like you're connecting to things that perhaps you haven't connected to before. And finally, we have the ice rune. Okay, this is about static energy loss, or, focusing on things that perhaps drain your energy and connecting to things that make you feel good, bring back that level of vitality. This also can indicate that some of you may have been going through a separation, or you've had a breach of loyalty that you've been dealing with, maybe even in the past. And although you don't want to return to that energy, you may be healing that energy, and it may have influenced the way you operate in life going forward, whether that's a friendship that perhaps betrayed you or let you down. You may, connect to people in a different way because of it, or even a high-level commitment in the past may have hurt you. And I feel like you are connecting to love in different ways. But ultimately, the energy I'm getting from this is that anything that has been frozen or feeling static, I feel it starts to come to life. I feel this energy of you thawing out and connecting to things that really make you passionate about your life. Also, there's a desire for privacy here. So some of you may have been going off grid to really focus on something that's important to you. And I feel like you're conserving your energy at this time to make something happen. It will happen, okay? Also, one more energy I'm picking up on is, this is about your focus, okay? Not wasting time and keeping focused is what I'm picking up on. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonated in that reading for you, my beautiful Librans. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Librans. Love and light.